Hi, I'm John, driving instructor, Oscar Driving School, Oxford. Thanks for watching my videos and supporting me. Today I'm going to discuss about good information for you to pass the driving test in UK and also to become a good driver on the road. So let us go for the lessons. Hi everyone. Today I am going to discuss about the top 10 reasons the driving test fail in UK and the solution for that. If you are not yet to subscribe this page, please subscribe and get another informative video. So the first important thing is not effectively observing before you entering into the junction. The solution, when you're coming up to the junction, have a good look left and right and make sure it is safe for you to enter. If it is an open junction, at least minimum 3 look right and left and right and may understand. If it is a closed junction, that means you can't see it earlier. You have to keep on looking until you get clear. So before you getting clear, you do not enter the junction. That's one of the reasons you are failing. Second, not effectively observing the mirrors or not effectively looking the mirrors whenever you need it. There are 3 occasions you need to look the mirrors. One, whenever you're giving signal. Suppose if you go left or right, you need to give it the signal. So before you're giving signal, look at the mirrors. And whenever you're changing direction, so that means if you overtake someone, you have to look at the right hand side. If you overtake to the right, and after that check at the left mirror. So whenever you're changing lane to lane, look the mirrors properly. And whenever you increase in the speed and decrease in the speed. So these 3 occasions, normally you need to look the mirrors, but it is keep on happening if it is a small road. And 3, keeping poor position when you're turning left or right. So if you go to the left, so the minimum distance from the curb is a meter. You steer, if the curb is falls away, as your curb falls away, you steer it towards left if you go left. And if you go right, the position should be slightly left of the center. So if you are not keeping in a good positions when you're turning left or right, that will be increasing the risk. That is the reason you are failing. And 4, poor control of your car. That means if you are jerking your car or just slightly left and right moving while driving, that will be a risk. So the poor control is happening. You may be driving with the one hand on steer, or looking somewhere else and your position slightly weird. So this is poor control. That is another reason you are fail. 5, when you're moving off, poor observations. That means when you're moving from the left to the right or moving on the road, how to look at 6-way observation or 360 degree observation. So all the way you need to look around the car whether it is safe to move off on the road or not. So that is one of the another reason you fail, not moving off safely. And 6, not effectively understanding the situations of the traffic light and not responding properly. And if you're coming up at traffic light, even if it is red or green, think it may change. So approaching the traffic light junctions should not be high speed. Reduce the speed, be ready to stop. That is one of the another reason you are fail, not responding properly. And 7, not understanding the pedestrian crossing and responding to them. You need to understand how many types of pedestrian crossing and why it is important to understand. These are the lessons, pedestrian crossing lessons. There are 5 different types of pedestrian crossing you can see on the road. Out of that, 2 is very common: pelican and zebra crossing. Zebra crossing generally known as uncontrolled because nobody is going to say stop. And pelican is another one commonly you can see. The pelican is the one having the flash amber. If it is a flash amber and when you're coming up to that junction, if nobody there, you don't want to wait, you can keep on going. So the poor understanding and responding the pedestrian crossing, that is one of the reasons also. Number 8, poor position when you're normally driving. Normally when you're driving, the position should be 1 meter away from the curb. And if there is no line, and if there is a line left and right, you should be the center of your lane, especially in the roundabout, the poor position of your road. So that is another reason you are failing. And 9. So poor understanding where do you want to stop when you're approaching a junction. The line, it will say the line where do you want to stop. So not to properly understanding the junctions and stopping not in the correct manner or correct way. So when you're approaching a junction, there will be line, 2 lines, sometimes only 1 line. If it is 2 lines, the second line may be for the cyclist, should not to go and stop there. Stop with the first line only for you. In case if you could not to finish the stopping the first line, should not leave the second line. So poor understanding the positions where you want to stop. And the last bit of the top 10 reason for you fail is not understanding the situation and not effectively observing when you do the reverse maneuver. Of course, you need to know what is happening around your car when you do the reverse maneuver. So when you do the reverse maneuver, you are doing the reverse maneuver because of that the other people has got a priority over there. You need to respond to the other traffic and people, and also effectively observe and have a good control your car when you do the reverse maneuver. These are the top 10 reasons you are failing in UK driving. I hope you understand better. If you understood better, so just like this page and subscribe and share it. Thank you very much for you watching, and remember, knowledge is your power.